My friends, hello, Jason Gorenstein here, bringing you live stream wellness class today on Wednesday, July the 8th. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Really nice to check in with you all. Time is 3 p.m. and bringing you live streaming wellness. So, without further ado, let us begin in our class. And really nice welcome to start. Dan and Gail, so nice to have you here. Guys, please feel free to join me as we move into our practice today. I'll be finding my way onto the mat and we'll begin in a standing posture. Also, I have Daisy the dog here, so if you hear some snoring, I apologize. It's just Daisy the dog. I might send her out of the room at some point. So, let's begin standing and just spread across the fingers here, spread across the toes, and just begin to find our way into a standing posture. So what I like to do here is a few times just rock forwards and backwards on the feet. You'll feel here as you rock forwards and backwards, just start to feel into your feet and your heels. Wonderful. Nice. And then from here you can just start to move your arms forwards and backwards a few times. So forwards and backwards, moving those arms back and forth. Excellent. And then eventually just swaying here side to side. So let the breath continue naturally here, side to side. And continuing to feel that breath into the body. So this is a great way of releasing muscle tension in the legs and muscle tension in the shoulders. And typically we do this action for a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes actually. You know, when I normally teach this class, I just do it for a couple of seconds sometimes. But really, when it's done properly, and when I mean when it's done properly, there's no proper way to do it necessarily, but just to have ourselves feel into our bodies here. If you do it for longer, you'll find that you can really tap into your feet here. So that's the idea as we begin to pivot back and forth here, is this opportunity, if you will, to just kind of sway from side to side. So moving those hips and moving the chest. And feeling your way, or rather finding your way into your breath here. Amazing, my friends. And then as you feel ready, finding your arms and just drifting them forwards and backwards here. Forwards and backwards with the arms, and just start to sway here naturally. Swaying those shoulders. You can bend knees and straighten legs here as you do so. Starting to move the body forwards and backwards, yes. Amazing. And then as you feel ready, go back to this side to side motion as you sway from side to side here. So great way to release tension in the shoulders and the neck muscles here as you continue to breathe from side to side. And again here, you're really tapping into those feet. So even though we're swaying side to side, you don't have to go as fast as me. You could go very slowly here, so don't feel like you need to move at any particular speed or tempo, but just moving at a speed that best suits you. And as you sway side to side, we're really just letting go of any tension in the shoulders, letting go of any tension in the fingers. That's it. And then again, swaying forwards and backwards with those arms, bending and straightening the legs here, bending and straightening those legs. Yes. Moving forwards and backwards here once again. Nice. Amazing, my friends. And one more time, swaying side to side. Right and left here. Amazing, my friends. And then as you feel ready, you're just going to begin to find your way back into Tadasana. So just be still for a moment. You could rock forwards and backwards on those feet. You could lift up on those heels if you want. Like me, you're going to touch thumb to forefinger and release. Touching thumb to forefinger and release. Touching thumb to forefinger and release. And moving to the next finger. Touching thumb to middle and release. Thumb to middle, release. Thumb to middle, Release in the next finger. Release. Release. And release. Moving to the next finger. So, guys, just feel free to move here. Feel ready to move. Moving those hips, moving those body. And then once again, swaying forwards and backwards with the arms, but this time just leaning forward. So as you sway here, you're just swaying very lightly forwards and backwards. Release the head on down, interlace the fingers here. Begin to bounce that spine a few times here. Release that head on down to the mat. Let that breath be long and slow here. Just start to bounce those hips up and down. Excellent. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Find your way on up. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers on top of the head. Turn your chest from side to side. So as you turn your chest from side to side here, just start to move the body over from side to side. And then shoulders from side to side. So the left shoulder up, and the right shoulder up, and the left, and the right. Yes, and then just start to move forwards and backwards one more time. So as we move forwards and backwards here, you're just starting to really feel into the body, and you can open and close the hands here. Open and close the hands. Excellent. And then swaying side to side here again. Swaying side to side. Moving those hips from right to left here. Amazing. And then what I'm going to have you guys do is just take your left leg on forward. You're going to do this a bunch of times. We're going to bend into that left knee. We're going to push on forward and drive those hands on back. You're going to push forward through those hands and drive those hands on back. Pushing forward, driving on back. Pushing forward and driving on back. Come back to center. Turn over to the other side and push. And drive on back. And push. And drive on back. And push. And drive on back. Come back to center again. Taking your right hand. Extending your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling here. And bringing that right palm on down, taking your left palm, extending your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling here. And left palm on down. So the right palm reaches on up. And the right palm reaches on down. The left palm reaches on up. And the left palm reaches on down. And then as you feel ready, take those hands to the hips. Just start to scoot the body around in circles here. Moving those hips around. Moving the pelvis around as you do so. And reversing this action in the pelvis. Moving in the other direction and breathing here. Amazing, my friends. And then as you feel ready, forward fold once again. Release those hands down to the earth. This time crossing opposite elbows here. And just let that head release all the way down. You could be here for a moment, just breathing into those shoulders and the neck. Swaying the elbows from side to side. Incredible, my friends. Yes. And then from here, just releasing those hands all the way down to the mat. You can begin to bounce up and down here if you like. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. And taking those hands to the hips. Inhale, peeling up the chest, raising those arms up towards the ceiling here. Lengthening those fingers up towards the ceiling and just start to sway once again. Swaying your body from side to side. Amazing, amazing. All right, so from here, just start to move those hands forwards and backwards once again. And then as you feel ready, swaying from side to side once again. So we do this just to release any tension in the shoulders, any tension in the neck. We're going to slow it on down again. You know, one of the things I'd like you to note is like when I move in this way, all of my weight travels down to my feet. So even though I'm moving my arms and kind of flailing from side to side, I'm really still staying in these feet here. That's it. And then as you feel ready here, inhale, raising your arms on up. Exhale, bringing those hands on down. Inhale, pulling on up. Exhale, lowering those hands on down. Inhale, drawing on up. Exhale, lowering on down. Inhale, lifting on up. Exhale, releasing on down. Good. And then just start to move those hands forwards and backwards again, forwards and backwards again. As you move the hands forwards and backwards, just start to release that tension in the neck, releasing the tension in the shoulders. Just move from side to side here in those legs. Feeling those legs and just drifting over from side to side here. Wonderful, my friends. And then side to side, right and left here. And right and left. Wonderful, yogis, wonderful. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is take the left hand, place it over the right side of the head. Just begin to bring the left ear over to the left shoulder rather. Breathe here into the neck. You could sway back and forth like me. And other side. The right hand comes over the left ear, breathing in here. Swaying back and forth. Amazing, amazing. And then you'll just start to sway those hands forwards and backwards here. Forwards and backwards arms. And then side to side. Just start to move those arms side to side, any amount. Moving the arms, moving the chest. Side to side. Side to side. Yes. And then as you feel ready here, let's take that left leg forward, the right leg is turned out, bend into that knee, hands come up, and then you're just going to push those hands away from you, and you're going to glide those hands back towards you. You're going to push those hands away from you. You're going to glide those hands back towards you. You're going to push those hands away from you. You're going to glide those hands back towards you. Do that 5 more times. So as we move in this way, once again, we're kind of moving like the waves of the ocean. As you kind of push, you're pushing away, and as you drive in, you're drawing towards. As you push away. As you draw in, you drive towards. One more time, push. Then come back to center, take it to the other side, pushing and driving on back. Pushing and driving on back, and pushing and driving on back. One more time, pushing. One more time, driving on back. Come back to center here. Take those legs, bring them back to center. Just start to sway the legs from side to side. And just be with your breath here. Be with your inhalations and with your exhalations. Good, and then sway forwards and backwards. Woo. Watch out for the wall. Alright, just sway forwards and backwards. And then what I'd like you to do now is just pulse those hands. Just kind of squeeze those hands and just pulse them here. You can rock side to side if you'd like. Just pulse those hands. Kind of wiggle the fingers around. Kind of shake out. Kind of shake those knees. Shake those hips. Just wiggle around a little bit here. Alright. Shaking on out. Excellent, guys. So from here, we're going to take our feet. Actually, before we do that, let's take a quick little tree pose. So bend the left knee, bring the left heel to the right ankle, and bring the hands to the center chest here. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling here. Lengthen through the fingers. It's okay to have those elbows bend a little bit. And bring those hands into the center chest. Inhale, float those arms on up. Exhale, hands come to the center chest. Inhale, float those arms on up. Exhale, hands come to the center chest. Let's take the other side of that pose. So the right knee comes to the bend, right heel comes to the left shin, hands come to the center. Inhale, folding the arms out. And, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending those elbows out. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending those elbows on in. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bending on in. Good. So releasing here, you're just going to kind of sway. Release the shoulders down to the mat. Let the head go. Just release the head on down and just sway those hips. Swaying from side to side. and then from forwards and backwards and side to side. And eventually, guys, what I want you to do is find your way into downward facing dog pose. Spread across the fingers, release that head on down, breathe here. You could scoot those hips right and left a few times if you like. And releasing those knees on down. Spread across the fingers here. Inhale, peeling on up through the chest. Exhale, rounding across the spine, releasing that head on down. Inhale, peeling forward, lifting up through the chest. Exhale, gliding on back, releasing on down. One more time. Inhale, peeling forward, lifting up through the chest. Interlacing the fingers here. Lengthen back through the left leg. Just breathe here. And release that head on down. And then switch legs. Take that right leg on back and do the same. And bouncing through that leg. Pressing through the ball of the foot, just releasing that head on down. Wonderful, my friends. Then as you feel ready, come up into a tabletop pose. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, floating that chest on up. Exhale, rounding across the spine. One more time, floating up that chest. One more time, rounding across the spine. Taking the right arm, bringing it on through. Taking the left hand, placing it behind the head. And breathe here. Breathe into the left shoulder. Breathe into the head. Breathe into the neck. And just continue to release here. Let those eyes be soft. Let the breath be long and slow. This is called thread the needle stretch. I think we took this yesterday. I love this stretch. And breathing in here. And exhaling and releasing. Wonderful, my friends. Take the left hand down to the mat. Glide your way onto the other side, so I'll join you. We'll take the left arm, we'll sweep it on under, and then we'll bring the right hand behind the back. You can release that head down on the mat, and just breathe here. Eyes are soft, breath is long and slow. And then as you feel ready, taking your right hand down, taking your left hand down. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, rounding across the spine. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, rounding across the spine. One more time. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, rounding across the spine. Take a take a downward facing dog pose here. Not ready for child's yet, almost. And then as you breathe here, just bend those knees slightly. Breathe into those back muscles. Breathe into those hips. Walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Come into a forward fold once again. Release that head on down. Take the hands to the hips. Press up, lift the chest. Find your way to standing. Spread across the fingers. Spread across the feet. Hands come to the center chest. Press your palms forward in front of you. Raise your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Glide your fingers over to the left and back to center. And glide your fingers over the right and back to center. Again, glide your fingers over the left and back to center. And over the right and back to center. Sway the body forwards and backwards here. Swaying forwards and backwards. Interlacing the hands behind the back. Draw those elbows back. Come into a forward fold here. Release that head on down. Breathe here as you release the head on down. Let's breathe into those back muscles. Let the breath be long and slow. Continue to breathe into the body. Inhale, peeling on up. Interlace the fingers in front of you. Take the palms up towards the ceiling. Bring the hands to the top of the head and just start to twist over towards your right side. Back to center. Twist over to your left. Back to center. Twist over to your right. And back. Twist over to your left. And back. Okay, so with the hands, we've done this many times before. With your breath on the inhale, extend your arms and let your palms come apart. And on the exhale, let your fingers come towards one another. As you inhale, the palms move away. As you exhale, the palms move towards. Inhaling, palms move away. Exhaling, palms move towards. Inhale, palms move away. Exhaling, palms move towards. Good. And then you're going to take the right hand up, lengthen the right hand up towards the ceiling here. And on an exhale, glide the fingers across through center. The left arm hikes up towards the ceiling here, press the right palm down, and then drive it on back to center. So right hand up, left hand down, and bring it on back to center. And left hand up and right hand down, and drive it on in back to center. And then glide your arms away from one another, glide your arms away, and glide your arms in towards each other. Glide your arms away, glide your arms away, glide your arms away. And glide your arms, hands in towards each other. One more time, glide your arms away, glide your arms away, glide your arms away. And release your hands on down. So just start to sway those hips from side to side here. Swaying on up the right hand, swaying on up the left hand. Right hand sways on up, the left hand sways on up. Once again, right hand and left hand, and right hand and left hand. Good, and then just sway from side to side here. Swaying from side to side. Letting those hips get all into it. Letting the breath be all into it. Good, guys. Okay. And then from here, what we're going to do is just shrug those shoulders up towards the ears and move them away. And just shrug those shoulders towards the ears and move them away. So do this at your own speed. Let yourself kind of shrug those shoulders and then shrug them the other way. Shrug them the other way. Wonderful. Nice, guys. Okay. Then from here, just start to kind of sway those hands from side to side again. Swaying those hands and moving those hips as well. So as we sway those hands from side to side, we get into those hips. And when we get into those hips, we have this opportunity to be reconnected, reattuned to our breath, to our body. And then from here, this is a fun action. You're kind of just like taking your hands and just kind of pressing them away from you and just like this, and just push away, up, and up, and up, and then down, and down, and down. Good. And up, and up, and up, and down, and down, and down. Good. And then from here, you just kind of just shake those legs out. Let your legs be loosey-goosey. Let your knees be loosey-goosey. Just begin to just kind of wiggle around. Doesn't have to look pretty at all. You're just wiggling around. You're letting all that weight and tension in the body release here. Kind of like you're a little bit of a zombie in a way. You're just kind of letting those knees bounce up and down, and letting your hands bounce up and down, and raise those arms on up. Exhale, bring those hands on down. Raise those hands on up. Bring those hands on down. Raise those arms on up. Bring those hands on down. Raising those hands on up. And bringing those hands on down. Wonderful, my yogi friends. Okay, so let us find our way back into downward facing dog pose. So we're going to come back into downward facing dog pose. and press on up and just come into a nice long downward facing dog. Walk the feet a little bit wider apart. Feet are about maximum distance apart. Release that head down. And breathe into the legs. And breathe into the fingers. Let the forearms lift up. Let the thigh bones press on back. Continue to breathe here. Wonderful, my friends. And then just scoot those hips side to side a few times here. Scooting your hips from side to side. And releasing those knees on down once again. Okay, let's find our way onto our seat. You can take your blanket. You can bring a blanket right behind you. And just have a seat on your blanket. So we're going to come into some nice little leg stretches here. We're going to start out with our nice Janu Shirshasana pose. So if you can, maybe you have a strap. Maybe you want to grab a strap and you can place the strap around your foot and then lengthen you. And breathe into the side of the leg and breathe into the side of the chest. Now lengthen on down that side body. Continuing to breathe here. Shoulders draw down, eyes are soft, breath is long and slow. Just release the chin towards the chest. Let that head go. Let the mind go here. Amazing, amazing. And then let's take our right leg, bring it on forward. Draw this left knee on in and do the same. And you just breathe in here, guys. You can close the eyes. You can keep the eyes open. These are meant to be longer stretches. Sometimes when we take some of these longer stretches, it's easy for the mind to kind of just be like not attentive. So it may be helpful here to refocus our minds. Alright, inhale, lifting on up. Okay, so from here, let us take our left leg, cross it over the right. We've done this before. This is like a really nice hamstring stretch. You take the left leg over the right, you take your strap to that foot again. You could keep your chest lifted, that's fine. It doesn't matter, you don't have to fold all the way forward. If you want to, you could begin to fold forward here. Release that head down. Close the eyes. And breathe into the back of that right leg. Alright, let's take the other side. So taking your left leg on forward, taking your right leg over top, and again. Scooting over and releasing our leg. Wonderful, my friends. Come on up. Come on up again. So take your feet and bring your feet together for a moment. Just, you can actually place your knees if you want on blocks. It's an option you have. And just come into a nice, gentle forward fold here. Release the head down. And soften the eyes here. This is called Baddha Konasana, not Supta, just Utthita Baddha Konasana, extended down angle pose. And we breathe here. And then as you inhale, lift that chest on up. Okay. From here, let's extend these legs on forward. Let's bring our strap right over our feet and just come into a forward fold here. So this one, you could just lean forward. This is called Paschimottanasana, the west facing the east pose. You could just lean forward. Some of us can grab hold of our feet here. Maybe even some of us can grab hold of our heels. And just release the head down and breathe here. The eyes are closed. The breath is long and slow. And on an inhale, lift that chest on up. Good. Okay. So guys, I'm going to give you an option. You can either come lying down on your back, or you know what, hold on, we'll wait a little bit on that. I'm still going to go for some more stretches. I'm sorry, I was going to skip over to meditation, but I'm going to go through a couple more stretches. Then we can see if we're ready for meditation. Draw the right knee into the chest. Just bring that right knee out towards the right shoulder. Let the left leg flail out. Draw the right knee back into center. Left foot touches down. Right knee draws out to the side, left knee moves out as well. And once again, left knee to center, right knee to center again. Right knee out to the side, left knee out to the side. And back to center again. Release that right foot on down, left knee hugs in, and we're going to do the other leg. So we start by bringing the legs out wide away from one another, and then we bring the legs back in towards one another. Legs come wide on the inhale. Legs move back together on the exhale. One more time. Legs wide on the inhale. Legs back together on the exhale. Right knee comes back in. Take the right foot, place it over the left thigh. Arms come out to the sides. Palms face the ceiling here. Just start to scoot your hips right and left a few times. Continue to breathe here as you scoot back and forth with those hips. Good. And keep those eyes closed. You can touch your thumb to the forefinger and then you can release. You can touch your thumb to the middle finger, and then release. Touching your thumb to the ring finger and releasing. Thumb to pinky, release. Good. And cycle back through those fingers. Wonderful. All right, we're going to do that to the other side. So you'll take your left leg, you'll bring it over the right, and you can, if you want, just start to glide the legs back and forth. You could just keep the hips still too. You could just tap the right thumb to the pointer finger, and then you could release. You could tap the right thumb, or the thumbs to the middle fingers. You could release. pointer finger, ring fingers and release, pinky fingers, release, and just moving backwards, touching, releasing, and touching, and releasing. One more time, touching, releasing, touching, and releasing. Good. So now, take your knee, I'm like, wild up today. Take your knees and sway your knees both over toward your left side. You can place blocks in between your legs if you'd like. Take your arms out to your sides. And breathe here. Breathe into the chest, breathe into the heart, breathe into the sternum. So just let your head relax here. We're actually going to begin with our Reiki practice today. So you can do Reiki in restorative poses, even like this. And what you'll do is you'll start by taking your hands and placing them right over your eyes. Palms face the ceiling. And just breathe here. Breathe into those hands, breathe into the eyes. You could say, just for today, may I let go of anger. Just for today, may I let go of anger. Just for today, may I let go of anger. Breathing into those eyes. And you'll take your hands and you'll place them right on top of the head here. Keep those eyes closed though. Keep those eyes closed. And just breathe into those legs. And breathe into the chest. Now about midway, we release our hands from our head. We bring our legs over to the other side. If you have blocks, you can use blocks for support. You don't need them, and then place the hands back on the head. So they're optional, the blocks. I like them because they keep my legs supported, but they're optional. Wonderful, my friends. Take your hands, place them behind the back of your head. That's the next Reiki position. This is Reiki position number 3. Hands behind the back of the head. And then with your legs, you're going to take your knees back to center. You can take your legs, you can bring your knees apart, your feet together. So Baddha Konasana pose again. And keep your hands behind the back of your head. This is Reiki position number 3. You could say to yourself, just for today, may I let go of worry. May I let go of worry. Iwadake wa ikaruna shimasu. May I let go of anger. May I let go of worry. And just continue to breathe here. Allow that breath to be long and slow. What I'd like you to do now, this is a kind of different. You can take your blocks, You can place them right underneath your knees, and you could release your legs forward. Now, if you don't have blocks, you could supplement your blocks to use blankets. You can use couch pillows. You could use whatever, and then take your hands and place them over your neck muscles. So this is kind of more traditional Reiki practice. As we see it, this is usually how I teach. The legs are extended forward, the breath is long and slow, breathing in and out of the throat. And just allow yourself to be with the space of silence. Sometimes I'm not narrating the class, and that's mostly because I'm just aware of my own senses, but I'd like you to notice where you can relax. Can you relax your eyes? Can you relax your ears? Can you relax your nose, your mouth, your tongue, your neck? Can you relax your chest or your arms, your elbows, your fingers? You can take your hands, place them over the top of the chest, and breathe into the chest. And breathing into the chest, and breathing out of the chest. And then take your hands and place them over your solar plex region, and breathe into your solar plexus. And as you breathe into your solar plexus, just continue to relax here. So once again, the whole nature of Reiki is really just to relax, guys. So if you feel any tension in the body, you can take any other stretches that you need. But for today, I just wanted to do a more Reiki-oriented practice. So please feel free. Always, you guys can modify if you need. You can take twists. You can do whatever. But the Reiki, I've always found to be very beneficial. Just placing the hands, surrendering, and smiling. The smiling part is important. We do want to smile when we do Reiki. Placing those hands back on the belly. And then place your hands over your pelvis. And just breathe here. I have my hands at the top portion of the pelvis. Wherever you place your hands is fine. Just continue to breathe into this region. So every time we place the hands, it's once again another opportunity for us to relax the body. And placing the hands over the sides of the legs now. And breathing here. And then as you feel ready, begin to bend these knees again. Begin to scoot the knees right and left a few times. And guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have us set up for meditation. Now we haven't done too much meditation in this class. So as you feel ready, press your way on up. And you're going to set up for meditation. Now, if you have knee issues, I'd recommend sitting on 2 blocks here. This is like a very traditional way to sit in meditation. This is like the Zen way. So you could sit like this. I'm going to sit cross-legged. Cross-legged's fine as well. You can sit on a blanket. You can place blocks underneath the knees. You can release the hands down and then close the eyes. And just take your attention to your breath. And just noticing here the inhalation and the exhalation with the breath. Noticing the inhale as the breath moves in. Noticing the exhale as the breath moves out. Just allowing yourself to relax here any amount. You can say to yourself here with the eyes closed, you know, if you keep the eyes open, just keep them very soft. It's fine to keep the eyes open too. Some of us, it's easier to keep the eyes open. When we meditate, for others of us, it's better to keep the eyes closed. And just say to yourself, may I relax and release with each breath. You can say it silently, you don't have to say it aloud. May I relax and release with each breath. Noticing the breath moving in, and noticing the breath moving. May I relax and release with each breath. Continuing to breathe here, in and out through the nose. May I relax and release with each breath. Maybe you have a nice animal come up to you and try to lick you in the face. And then you can say, may I relax and release with each breath. Keep your eyes closed. Keep that breath long and slow. May I relax and release with each breath. So we'll be here for about another minute. Close those eyes. May I relax and release with each breath. May I relax and release with each breath. And as you feel ready, take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Take your hands into the center chest. Gratefully bow down, releasing everything. Peace, love, and happiness. And then lifting up the head, welcoming in all the same. Peace, love, and happiness. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a phenomenal Wednesday, rest of your Wednesday. I hope that you are very well. Oh, Madonna, you were able to join us. Welcome. Very nice. Dan and Gail, I hope you have a wonderful evening as well. Madonna, I hope you have enjoyed your trip. It's so nice to have you a part of the community. Guys, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your Wednesday. We'll be here tomorrow. Yes, Daisy was in there too. Daisy was in there too. So have a wonderful Wednesday. As I usually share, guys, for all of us, let's be well, be happy. Namaste, my friends. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye, guys. See ya.